My feet sank into the loose, arid sand with each begrudging step I took. With my shoes in one hand, the sun-warmed sand scorched the bottoms of my feet. My gait was unsteady and cautious as the ground slipped beneath me. With each new step, I imagined having displaced millions of sand granules from their original location. Sand surrounded my ankles like a mouth devouring my flesh, reluctantly relinquishing its bite whenever I elevated my knees. I halted my march when I spied a plane up above. It was only a commercial jet. Yet I shielded my eyes with one hand and watched the airplane slice through the bright blue sky, leaving a trail of white exhaust in its wake. "Cassidy, are you coming?" My gaze returned to the shimmery horizon, and I tightened my grip on the red and white plastic cooler. "Yeah." I trained my eyes on the sway of the shapely backside moving in front of me as we picked our way across the crowded Minnesotan beach. The opportunity to see Julia in a bikini was nearly enough to make me forget my aversion to sand. But not quite. A lot of people like me, separated military personnel susceptible to PTSD flashbacks, avoided the beach. The sand along Minnesotan lakes hardly resembled the dirty moon dust of an Afghanistan desert, but it was familiar enough to have made me hesitate. I hovered awkwardly, shoes in one hand and our lunch in the other, while Julia scouted an unoccupied location close to the water's edge. She pulled a blue and white checked blanket from her canvas tote bag and claimed the small parcel of land as ours. I continued to scan our surroundings while she busied herself with the task of flattening the blanket across the bumpy sand. Minnesota was heralded as the land of 10,000 lakes, but the city of Minneapolis wasn't known for its scenic beaches. We'd driven about 30 miles west of the Twin Cities, close to the state border, to Square Lake Beach. I'd never been before and was sorely disappointed to discover that Square Lake was not, in fact, a square. Clusters of family groups dotted the lakeshore, all trying to squeeze out the last little bit of summer before the school year started and the weather took a turn for the worse. The high-pitched squeals of children laughing sounded more like the shriek of mortar bomb in the moments before detonation. I sat down on the beach blanket with my legs tucked tight to my body and rested my chin on the tops of my knees. I dug my toes deep into the golden-colored sand. "Sunscreen?" Julia offered. I shook my head and continued to wiggle my feet deeper into the loose sand, like planting myself into the landscape. "I'm good. Your fair skin won't last the afternoon," she prophesied. She pulled a comically large bottle of sunscreen from her beach bag,